Dog Mom Knits podcast, episode 16. I did check. My name is Amanda, and I am coming to you from coastal Virginia, where I live with my husband, Sean, our 3 dogs, Bandit, Copper, and Finley, and our exchange student, Daria. This is a knitting podcast where I talk about all my crafty adventures. You can find me on Instagram as Dog Mom Knits, on Ravelry as Dog Mom Knits 08, and we do have an email address for this podcast, and that is dogmomknits@gmail.com. I will link all the shops and podcasts and etc. all in the down bar below. But if I forget anything, please reach out and let me know. Thank you for joining me. If you are a new viewer, I hope you like the content. And if you are a returning viewer, please know that every like, subscribe, and view just means the world to me. There's no way for me to say how much I enjoy being part of this community and the friendships that I have made in the process. So again, this is episode 16. Today is Sunday, September 18th, I believe. It could be the 19th. No, my husband's telling me it's the 18th. Okay, so it's September 18th. I podcasted 2 weeks ago. School had started. School continues. And it is still insanely busy in my world. So I don't have a lot of knitting content today. Debated on whether I was going to podcast at all. But I still wanted to put content out. It's just, I don't know how long this one's actually going to be. We'll see. So, Dog Mom Knits news. I have a new pattern that's going to be released on Friday, which if today is the 18th, that would make that September 23rd, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, 23rd. So it's going to release on September 23rd. It's Fall Y'all Socks. So this is the sample that I knit using Yakagani yarn, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's called A Little Corny, and the mini skein is, I believe it was called Pumpkin. But this pattern uses a full skein and a mini skein. You start with the mini, switch to the main, switch back to the mini, switch back to the main, and I do have links for a way to make weaving and ends easier on those. But this pattern will be coming out on Friday, September 23rd. It will be available on Ravelry and Lovecrafts. So I love it. I called it It's Fall Y'all because this lace pattern that I found just reminded me of beautiful falling leaves. My absolute favorite thing about fall. Those falling leaves and all the color changes. So I am so excited to be sharing this pattern with you. My test knitters blew it out of the water. Their projects are so beautiful, and I have been sharing them over on Instagram in my stories. So check those out if you haven't seen them yet. They just really did an exceptionally beautiful job with this pattern. When the pattern is released on Friday, I will open a thread in the Dog Mom Knits Ravelry group. So if you knit these socks, please post a picture in that thread, and I will, at the end of fall, so in December, I think the first day of winter is like usually December 21st, something in there. Whenever the first day of winter is, I will close that thread and I will be picking a prize winner just to say thank you and send a little gift to you. So if you knit the It's Fall Y'all socks, make sure you post a picture of them in the Dog Mom Knits Ravelry group so that you get entered for a prize. It's going to be kind of like a make along, but more free form, I guess, if that's the way to phrase it. Like, not so many rules, but yeah. So that's all the Dog Mom Knits news. So we can go into FOs. My only finished object is my It's Fall Y'all socks. School has been insane. Insanely busy. And I just haven't had a lot of time to knit. I haven't had a lot of mental space when I get home to even pick up things that are mindless and knit. I am still working on a couple of WIPs that are in their mindless stage, so you will see progress, but it's not enough progress to actually have a finished object. But I finished my It's Fall Y'all socks. I will have all the information next to me, or have had all the information next to me. I also have all the information on my Ravelry project page. But I absolutely love this pattern. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with it and the way you bring it to life and the creativity you bring to this pattern. I am so excited to be sharing this, to be finally sharing this with all of you. So, yeah. So again, that's my only FO. So let's just move into WIPs. I have a lot of things on the needles right now. So I am going to focus on the projects that have been getting my attention, the things that I have been working on and kind of focusing on, which is really only 3 projects. So the first project that has been getting my attention is my September Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. I chose National Ice Cream Month as my socks for this month. It is on her Viso base, which is the 75-25. I am past the heel on my first sock, and I'm just doing a vanilla sock with the OMG heel by Megan Williams. I love this. I love all of these like variegated in between the solids. It's very different from my other Desert Vista Dyeworks socks, and I'm really, really, really happy with it. I wish I was further because I am over halfway through the month, but yeah, it is what it is. But again, I'm past the heel, so I just have to cruise down the foot and then knit the second one by the end of September. No pressure. I'm holding this in the bag that I have had all my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks in. It is my Scaredy Cats bag from the guy who sews, who is my husband. I think his bags are amazing. I am incredibly biased. There is his logo. I don't know if it'll focus, but I love this bag, and I've loved using it for my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks this year. So that's that. So that's the first one. The second WIP that's been getting a lot of my attention is the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. I am knitting this out of Knit Picks Brava worsted weight in the colorway Lady Slipper. And I did a couple of inches, I think, but you know, with this, Finley's outside barking and Copper's worried that he's missing out on all the fun. So I've made some progress. Ugh. Sorry guys, it's been all bunched up in my bag. So I have this much. This is the back, right? Yeah. This is going to be the back of the sweater. So I have made progress. Holding it up like this, I feel like it looks like I've made more progress than I was thinking I had. I think when I measured it, I was at 6.5 inches. And for my size, I'm knitting the size 6 in the pattern, which is a 60-inch bust. It says to go for 15 inches, but I measured one of my favorite sweaters and I'm going to go 16 inches. It's knit bottom up. So this is the bottom hem of the sweater, and I'm going to knit 16 inches until I get to the where you split for the underarms, because like I said, I measured one of my favorite sweaters and that was the length that I like. I like a little bit of a longer sweater. So I just feel more comfortable in that. So I am going to go 1 extra inch from the pattern, but so far everything else has been 2 pattern. I did have to go down a needle size, but all of that information is on my Ravelry project page. I am still able to house this in my Ukraine bag from 3 by the Sea Designs. I am wondering if at some point the sweater is going to get too big for this bag, but until then, this is the bag that I am using. Thank you to everyone who commented on the last episode with messages and prayers for Mary, who is our exchange student who went home to Ukraine. All of those prayers and messages are so very appreciated by both her and by us. I did share them with her, so thank you again for sending along those messages. My last active whip is a Musselboro hat. The Musselboro hat is a hat by Isolde Teague. It's everywhere. I feel like I'm the last podcaster to knit a Musselboro hat. That's how it feels. But I am liking the yarn that I'm using in this pattern. I feel like this is one of those projects where the pattern and the yarn are like perfectly matched. So I am using Chameleon Colorworks Dyeworks and Fiber Studio. It is their Pippi base, which is 100% superwash merino. No idea if that's even going to focus because my camera is a thing. And the colorway is Lily of the Valley. And this, if I can get it to not be so very messy, this is what I have so far, which I have started and stopped a couple of Musselboro hats in the past, and this is the farthest I've ever gotten on it. So I just love it. I love the way it was like pulling up here when I was doing the increases, and now it's kind of striping the green and the white. I just think it looks really, really fun. And I am using a stitch marker from 3 by the Sea, a raspberry scone, if it'll hold, a raspberry scone. And she's not down here and she won't watch this. So I can tell you that I did decide, because I mentioned it on the last podcast, I did decide that I was going to knit this for our exchange student, Daria, who's staying with us this year. And it's going to be one of her Christmas presents. So yeah, deadline knitting. That was the face. If you saw the face I made, deadline knitting. But I'm just really, really happy with the way this yarn is going. So I did all the increases and I weighed the yarn to see how much I had left. And then I had my husband wind off. I think it was like, sorry, my hat just fell. I think it was like 5 grams or something like that. So I had him wind off that amount. So this is going to be what I decrease with. And so all I have to do now is just knit until this is gone. And then when that's gone, I can do the decreases and I will have used up all my yarn, and she'll have a hat that she can wear with like a folded brim, or it can be slouchy, and she'll have lots of options. I am holding this in a Molly Klein Designs bag, and it's Gilmore Girls themed. This is one of the first project bags I ever bought. I absolutely love this bag. Daria and I are watching, and I'll talk about this later, but Daria and I are watching Gilmore Girls together. And so it seemed very fitting that a project for her, that this is the bag that I would use. So I've got something coming up for school that I'll talk about later in life stuff that I think is going to give me some time to work on this. Fingers crossed. And get some stuff done. So those are the only 3 wicks that are getting a lot of my time. So let's move on to upcoming projects and acquisitions because they kind of overlap. So as I said earlier, my It's Fall Y'all socks are coming out on Friday. This is the start of a series of socks, that I have planned to coincide with each of the 4 seasons. There's going to be a fall sock, the hiccups. There's going to be the fall sock, then there's a winter sock, a spring sock, and a summer sock. And they're all going to use a main skein and a mini in a very similar way, where there's going to be some sort of panel here connected to the season using the mini, and then the rest of the sock is going to be in the main color. So I already have my plan for my winter socks. Sorry, I have to bend down and pick up the yarn. And I reached out to Lauren of Granite State Yarns, and I asked her if she had an idea of a sock set that she was going to dye for this winter. And she sent me some pictures of some things that she had been mulling around, and I fell in love. So I am going to soon, probably after I finish my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks, start on my, what I'm calling my cozy winter socks, and get those ready to go so that the testers can start. I think I'm going to call for testers, and I think my plan is to call in the middle of October. But I'm going to use Lauren's yarn. Again, she's Granite State Yarn. This colorway does not have a name yet, but she is planning on producing it, dyeing it, preparing it for this winter. And look at that. Is this not stunning? And the blue and white has like little hints of pink right there. That's Lauren's logo. It is a 20 gram mini, 900, no, it's not. 20 gram mini, 90 yards, 100 gram, full skein, 463 yards. This is her 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 4-ply fingering weight base. And she wrote the color name as TBD because as of right now, it doesn't have a name. But it is stunning. I mean, just look at that. And this base is so squishy and so soft. And I cannot wait to knit the sock pattern that I have in my head and the way it kind of lays itself out. And then in this yarn, it's just going to be, I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. So excited for how that's going to look. My only other acquisition, is it my only other acquisition? Oh my goodness. I only bought 2 things. My husband just went, he's proud of me. Disappointed. Yeah, it's because, y'all, I have been so busy. I haven't even had time to buy yarn. My husband's going like this, so y'all can't hear him clapping in the background. Anyway, so busy, I can't even buy yarn. Sad. It's a sad, sad day over here in coastal Virginia. Okay. I am participating in the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, Twists and Turns. I'm intimidated already. The fact that he's calling it Twists and Turns means, hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, I guess. I don't know. I was going to piece together yarn from Stash and maybe buy, a skein or 2 if I needed to. But so many podcasters have been talking about the kits that they've been buying and the yarn that they've been getting that I just went on one day and was like looking at all the kits that were, I literally just Googled West Knits MCal Twists and Turns kit, and was looking at all these different places. And there are some beautiful options out there. beautiful. And I came across a kit and I was like, I might need to buy that. And I hemmed and hawed about it for about 24 hours. I showed it to Sean. He liked it. I showed it to Daria. She liked it. And I hemmed and hawed. And then I was like, you know what? I got money for my birthday from my parents. They always tell me to spend it on something fun. A beautiful set of yarn for this amazing MCal. Sounds like something fun to me. So I bought this from Four Pearls Yarn Shop, which is in Winter Haven, Florida. And it's all 5 skeins are from Emma's Yarn, which I am currently knitting, well, I have socks on the needles using Emma's Yarn. But I haven't finished them yet. But so far, I am a very big fan of Emma's Yarn. So the MCals, Stephen West says you need 2 skeins of one color, 2 skeins of another color, and then a pop of color. So this is if he says we need to, what does he call it? Main skein. Accent skein? No, the accent. Anyway, this will be color number 2. It's Emma's Yarn and it's called Orbit. And it is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards to 100 grams. There's the Emma's Yarns logo. So that's color number 2. This is color number 1. This is called Navy Blazer. And then this is going to be my accent color and is called, I didn't even notice the name of this yarn. My husband is going to give me another 2 thumbs up. It is called Wish You Were Beer. I was right. 2 thumbs up and a great big smile. Wish You Were Beer. So I won't pull out the other 2 because you're going to get the idea, but this is the color combination for my mystery knit along from Stephen West, and I am so excited. I would never have put these together, and I'm so glad for the women at Four Pearls Yarn Shop. I can't talk because these 3 colors together are just so beautiful. And Emma's Yarn is so plush and so squishy. And I do not have a predominantly blue shawl. So I think, this fits very nicely into my wardrobe. I wanted to do really bright, fun colors because that's what I always gravitate to knit with. But I don't gravitate to that to wear. I pull the neutrals when it's time to grab stuff to wear to school. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. Actually knit something that's intentionally neutral and see how it goes. But I am really, really excited about the mystery knit along this year. I did the shawlography, the 2021 mystery knit along, which was shawlography, and loved it. It was very challenging, but his videos are so amazing. And the way he coaches you through every single step and the way he just encourages you to say yes, no stress. Like, I don't know. I'm just a big Stephen West fan for just the vibe that he gives off and the way that he seems to approach life and approach knitting. So here we go. Twists and turns. Oh, I should say this yarn combo from Four Pearls Yarn Studio was called Millennium Force. So each of the kits that they put together, they named after roller coasters in the United States. And I think this is the Six Flags roller coaster, Millennium Force. I'm not sure. But yes. This combination, if you go looking on their site, I'm not sure if there were any left. There were a couple days ago when I looked because I was curious. But Oh, it's Cedar Point. Millennium Force is at Cedar Point. But it was still available the last time I looked. If you go words. What are words? Four Pearls Yarn Store. And again, they, along with everything else that I've talked about, will be linked down below. So that's all the knitting. It's only been 25 minutes of talking. Can't believe that's all the knitting. Craziness. I'll do a little bit of a life update, and then this one's going to be done. Maybe next time I'll actually have some knitting to show you. So Daria has started school at our local high school. She is a junior. She is our exchange student who is from North Macedonia. And she is fitting in with us beautifully. It's like we've known her forever. We just click. She and I went to a volleyball game at the school that I teach at on Friday. That was really fun to spend some time with her. She went with her coordinator and two other exchange students last night to an event that was being held near us. And then today, the reason I look like I was outside all like in the wind was because we had the welcome picnic for the exchange students in our area who are in the same organization. They have the same coordinator. There are 27 exchange students this year who are in Daria's group. And we had hamburgers and hot dogs, and then each of the kids brought a dish from like native to their home. Daria and I made two different types of bread. We made a white bread and then what's called an Easter bread. So a sweet bread. And it's just so much fun. The welcome picnic is so much fun. The kids all get up, they introduce themselves, they share about their country, and then they sit and talk to each other, and the host parents sit and talk to each other. And yeah, it's just really fun. It was a really fun day. She's doing great in school. She is excited about school, and that makes us happy. So yeah, it's been an amazingly wonderful experience so far, and I am expecting all good things. My school is crazy busy. I feel like I said that last time and then it didn't slow down. It didn't get worse. It just didn't slow down. September's usually busy. If you're a school teacher, you know, it's like the start of a new school year, chaos, run on the treadmill super fast all the time. But it's busy in a good way. The dog, Finley, has detected an intruder. Intruder, brothers, come help. And Bandit and Copper came running. Oh, it's a squirrel, Sean says. Nope. Not tolerated in this backyard. Oh, Bandit didn't even go outside. He's like, you two can handle it. I'll stay in here where it's air conditioned. He's so lazy. Anyway, school's just been super busy for me. I am a teacher. I teach middle school English, so 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and kind of getting my classes going. I also direct theater production at school. Plus, I have been helping with auditions for the spring musical. The middle school and high schoolers are doing Music Man in March, and I've been helping with that. And I don't say that in any way that is a complaint. I love it. I love my job. I love helping with the drama program. It just means I don't have a lot of time to knit, and I'm okay with that. I actually took my Musselboro hat to callbacks that were this past week. And as the kids were, you know, running lines and singing and practicing, I was sitting there and knitting, and they were teasing me about it a little bit, but it's fine. I can take it. Plus, I know they're just kidding. I am still reading book 5 of the Knit and Nibble series, which I did not realize that I had been reading this book for 2 weeks. That's not a good sign. Usually, if it's taking me this long to finish a book, it means I don't really like it. And so I think for now, this is going to be my last in this series. So I need book options. Some people suggested books on the last episode. But if you have any book options for what I could read next, cozy mysteries, knitting or not knitting related, excuse me, hook a sister up. All of the down bar with the books that I need to read. Daria and I are still watching Gilmore Girls. We are in, I think, season 3. Yeah, that sounds right. Season 3. We haven't really had that much time to watch it, but it's all good. We also have been continuing American Movie Night. So last Saturday we watched The Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls. And yesterday we watched Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. We just kind of kept a baseball theme because Sean and I love baseball, and it's still baseball season. I think that's it. Sean has been insanely busy at work. I've been insanely busy. Daria makes us happy. The dogs adore their new sister. Yeah. If we all come home, like if the 3 of us have been out and we come home, she's the one they go to first. It's all good though. I'm glad they like her, and I'm glad she likes them. That makes me happy. Oh, I do have one big thing with schools. So this week, the whole upper school at my school, because my school is a pre-K through 12 school. So the whole school is going to the mountains, to a camp. It's not really like camping though. We have like dorm rooms and running water. Otherwise I wouldn't go, just saying. My husband just chuckled because he knows. A bunk bed, electricity, running water, that's camping that I can do. Tents, no running water, no, I'm good. I'm not doing that. But we're going Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday up to the mountains. All the kids, they are going to have an amazing time. It is always so much fun. It's such a great time of fellowship. We're going to worship and have chapel, and there's a speaker that's going to come, and I'm so excited. I love retreat. I love this 3 days to interact with my students in a different way. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I think I'm going to get quite a bit of, I hope I get quite a bit of knitting time. So my plan is to take my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks and my Musselboro hat. I might do like a before picture on Monday night and an after picture on Thursday night of the 2 projects and see. Maybe I'll post that on Instagram, do like a side-by-side and see how much I was able to get done. Because I always feel like I did this with the Boston trip too, where I was like, oh, I'm going to take all this knitting and I wonder if it's going to be enough. And then I knit like 10 rows the week I was in Boston. So it'll be interesting to maybe do a before and after and see how much I actually knit based on like what I think I'm going to get done and then compare it to what I actually get done. But I think that's it. I hope you guys are having an amazing start to your fall. If it's even fall, it's going to be in the 90s here tomorrow. So, coastal Virginia. But I hope you're having an amazing start to fall. I hope you are having joy, like finding joy in little things every day. And I hope that every stitch that you knit or crochet just fills your heart with warmth and love. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. As soon as I hit stop, I realized I forgot to tell you about the adventures we're going on with Daria in the next couple of weeks. So next Saturday, the last Saturday in September, Sean, Daria, my parents, and I are going to the State Fair of Virginia, which is held in Doswell, which is basically like Richmond. Sean entered 2 quilts. I entered 2 knitting projects. So cross your fingers for us. They do post the results like sometime this week, but we're not going to look. We like walking into the arena, the area, and kind of looking for our projects and looking to see if it has any ribbons. So I got a red ribbon, second place last year with the socks that I entered. This year I entered my seashells socks, and nope, that's not what they're called. Seashells on the Seashore socks. I still can't get those right. And my shawlography shawl, my Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. So I will post pictures or videos if they get ribbons, or even just of them hanging up, because I think that's just really cool. So look for that this coming weekend on Instagram. And then the weekend after that, the first weekend of October, I think we're going to stay in the area, but we might go paint some pottery, just as something fun to do, because the weekend after that, is that right? So it's next weekend, the first weekend in October, and then the weekend after? Isn't that right, Mac?
Nope.
Sean says no. How have I screwed that up?
It's the first is like next Saturday, then it's the 8th, and then it's, yeah, so it's 2.
I was all excited that it was 3, but it's 4.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sad. I disappointed myself. That's okay. On that extra weekend, we're probably going to go apple picking, because it's one of my favorite things to do in the fall, and I have been really excited to go. So those are just some of the upcoming adventures. So I'm really going to go now. Have a great rest of your day. Happy knitting.